Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello.
Oh, hold on. That's me.
That's you? You
Yeah,
on here
let me mute.
twice. Okay. Now I can't. Let me see. All right. What happened to you?
Let
You
me.
t-
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
I am it's been a day and I am glad it is almost over. But I am excited to have this conversation with you. You know, you are divalicious as usual. I'm loving, yes.
It's my anniversary today.
So, did you, well, first of all, tell the people who you are.
Hello, everyone. I am Cyla Fleming Harrell, originally from the great city of Dothan, Alabama. I now reside in Hampton, Georgia. Um, I work for a Southern company. You all are familiar with Alabama Power. We're the mom and daddy for them.
Okay.
In Atlanta,
Okay.
daddy not.
Okay. Okay. So, this this month, because you know it is May, we celebrate mothers. I have been talking to moms in different ages and stages and places in life, and congratulations to you on becoming a grandmother. So what's your name? Because I know you're not grandma.
I am not. I am Maji.
Okay, my
Ma.
yes,
You know
yes.
how we call you ma? Ma.
Uh-huh.
Mom. I hated it with a passion. I said, baby, can you add something else to that, please? And so it just kind of stuck. So now Maji.
I love it. My mama wanted to be called G-Ma.
Okay.
But my baby could not pronounce that. I was like, but he could get G out. He could get that G out strong. And I was like, we're just gonna call you Gigi. And she was like, oh, but now she loves it because when people would say, they was like, oh, I love that. He could get that Gigi out, but he could not get that Ma out.
She and the mama together, right?
No, he could not get the G and the mom together. So welcome to What's in Your Cup, where we talk about how to maintain. Well, we talk about just life and how to maintain balance.
True.
So, my first question for you
Hmm.
is, what are three things that you wish you knew before becoming a mother?
Number one, how to mother.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, um, how to allow my child to be her own individual self.
That's big.
Yes. And number three, I wish I had known that what necessarily worked for me as a child from my mother would not necessarily work as well for my child as me being the mother.
So that's big.
Hmm.
That's big. And I'm gonna go, but everybody wish parenthood came with some type of instruction manual. This is one of the few jobs that does not give you any training. It's like trial by fire. And some days I'll be in there like, oh, did I get a win today? Or did I fail miserably? Like, what's going on? But I have found for myself personally that in times where I thought I failed, I won.
Yes.
Um, so I want to. That takes me into, how did you navigate allowing your child to be herself?
Um, I was sort of kind of forced to because I didn't have the kind of child who I could say because I know and then because I said so.
Mm-hmm.
She always needed a reason why, or an explanation why. And being raised with my mom, and I was didn't question adults,
Right.
but
That's I was like that too. You know my folks.
right, but I learned quickly if I could give her a reason, and she could understand the why,
Hmm.
I got better results and less lip and less attitude, because then the no or the yes made sense.
So that I have experienced that as well. And so I also found that for my children, it has made them a little more emotionally intelligent because it started to develop those critical thinking skills much earlier on.
Absolutely.
Because I know for sure for my son, I'd be like, he'll ask me something and I'll be like, okay, my answer is no.
Hmm.
Like I was like, I'm giving you a medium to soft, maybe hard no, but if you can explain to me why I should let you do something, then that might change my answer. And so, and and I tell him all the time, I was like, hey, y'all, Papa and Gigi didn't let me do none of that. No was that was a hard, fast, hard no.
Exactly.
So, but I agree with you on finding what navigates and what works for you because everything that we came up with doesn't necessarily work for our children.
Absolutely not.
So that was great. And going back to how to mother, I don't do you ever think that we fully learn how to do that?
No, because I'm having to learn now still how to mother this grown child who is not a wife and a mother and no longer just my daughter.
And so how is that going for you?
Well,
It's going rough.
it's going rough. Okay. Because for so long. And, even down to planning the wedding, you know, um, the fiance wanted to be really involved. And
Yeah,
it took me a minute to wrap my head and my heart around that, because it was just supposed to be just me and her.
just y'all like
This wedding,
baby, what you want to have a say so for?
you just want to show up where we tell you to wear, stand where we tell you to stand, and be happy. You, and listen, I'm the Facebook queen, right?
Yes,
You have not seen a whole lot of pictures of my grandbaby on Facebook, have you?
because they done told you can't post that on there yet.
What in the world? What? What?
They got
So I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and I'm still adjusting. And it's not easy. My baby, you got to manage your expectations.
oh no. I am weakened
Baby, whew.
because I will say it does shift a bit when you move from mom to grandmother because I know for my mother because I was always a daddy's girl, but after I had children, I got married and had children, I would call me like, hey daddy, what my mama at? Let me talk to mama because he couldn't answer none of them
Right.
questions I had. And but I also noted that people, and this is one of the things that I really do respect my mother for. People will ask her stuff about the children, and she did make a differentiation really early on. She was like, "I am the grandmother;
Mm,
those are not my children. You
mm,
got to ask their mama." And so I appreciated her for that because she was allowing me to navigate motherhood and not feel like these because these were an extension of her, but those were my children. So but she yeah, you gotta manage your expectations,
ooh, ooh.
and it's a little rough. I know it's a little rough.
Listen, yeah, my first and only grandbaby, and I'm take a back seat. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
because
in the grandmama seat, and
you're not driving no more. You're not driving.
period, period, period. But
So Tell me,
Never fully learn.
it's no, it's definitely a work in progress because as you know, we grow, our children grow,
Mm.
and stages of life change for them, and we become new people, and we are constantly having to relearn them in different phases. I am praying for you as you relearn your daughter as a wife and a mother. I'm praying
Hey, and I always call her baby. I
for
mean, I
you.
never call her by her name. So now I'm trying to call her by her name. So that will help me realize that Kyla, she grown. She's
Yeah, yeah, she
on
grown.
okay to life and move on.
Oh, I'm so tickled. I am crying over here. So, how do you ministry and motherhood? How has that worked for you? Was that an easy transition? Was it something that you had to manage a little bit?
First of all, my daughter said I should have sent the call to voicemail. First thing she told
Oh Lord.
that call to voicemail. And then the second thing, it's been different because even before I answered the call, but just being a Christian mother,
Mm-hmm.
whenever she would want to talk to me, she would preface it with sometimes, Mama, I'm coming to talk to you as my mama. I'm not talking to Mother Mary of Jesus today. Okay, so
Oh,
and she would say, I need you to be my mama today, not Mama Mother
so
Mary.
I have this saying I used to tell one of my good friends. I be like, "Oh, you are Jesus Junior, Junior Red. You chew on Jesus flip flop. You was chewing on Jesus flip flop."
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's been an adjustment. And even still now, with me going and doing and going and doing all the time, she's quick to say, but you need to rest. You my mama, you the only one I got. And,
Mm-hmm.
and try and explain to her that it's a ministry and then it's a calling, so having to balance those two. But yeah, I should have sent her the voicemail.
Nah, that's funny.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, what has motherhood taught you?
Ooh, motherhood. Ooh, motherhood has taught me so much. I listened to one of your callers last week. Um, when she said that motherhood saved her, I have that
Mm-hmm.
exact same experience. But what motherhood has really taught me and is teaching me is not to be so quick to judge or quick to be judgmental. Um, it's taught me that I am capable of unconditional love, even if I'm only capable with it with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So we strive to be more like Christ every day, but it's hard. It's hard for us to love other humans unconditionally. You know what I mean? But it has taught me that I'm capable, and it's a choice,
Mm-hmm.
and that love is a choice. That's what motherhood has taught me, because there was a lot of days when I didn't really like her too well, like from 13 to 18 she didn't like me and I didn't like her, and
Oh,
and we had that understanding, but we chose to love each other.
listen, I'm a little nervous because my girl 11,
Mm-hmm.
she'll be 12 this year. I wanna love her and like her.
Uh-huh.
It might
Yeah,
not be possible,
no
huh?
man. From 13, I don't know what it was, but when my baby turned 13, she woke up a completely different creature than she was when she went to sleep at
Good
12.
God Almighty. I can see the attitude spawning a little bit because I had to go and reel her back the other day because I did something. She was like, "Mom, that don't make no sense." Ooh, look, girl, who you talking to?
Mhm, mhm.
Because who you talking to?
Yeah. Mhm.
Cause she's like, but mama, that I was, mm, mm, mm. We, mm-mm, mm-mm. So I'm yeah, and she do stuff, and I tell people like she Ebony 2.0, like new and improved, but she has such this huge personality,
Mhm.
and I will say that she has gotten the best of me
Good.
to experience that. So she has that big personality, and she'll do stuff, and she'll be like, "Mama, too much," and sometimes I'll be like, a little bit too much, and other times I'll be like, "You know what, girl, go and do your thing," but some, and then other times I'll be like,
Gotcha.
set out, because you,
Yeah.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
but yeah, I the so let's get into the don't be so quick to judge portion. So, how did motherhood help you to be less judgmental?
Um, you know me. I'm a Leo. You know me. My is an Aquarius.
They don't go together.
You understand? Even down to the point to where I'm I don't I always get these backwards. I'm always cold. You know, I'm she's always hot. She this big around. Okay. This big around. So because she is completely different from me,
Hmm.
completely different from me, you know, I sing, she can sing. I had to make her sing. You just had to hand me the microphone. You know what I'm saying? So, I was always like, uh, God will bless you with this talent, and then you don't want to use this talent. And then, but mama, that's not me. I don't want to be out front.
Yeah.
I don't want to even I could never understand, like, even down to when we was picking our wedding dresses. In my mind, I went to the bridal store with the Cinderella ball dresses, because
Uh-huh.
my this my baby, this my princess, this my thing.
You won't feel none of that.
Out with full grown woman cleavage, fit hips on, and I quickly, my first thought was, ooh, I didn't raise you like that. That was the first
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah,
The
now
first,
y'all mamas like to say I didn't raise you like that.
but the Holy Spirit said to me, quick, just as quick. She's a grown woman,
Yeah.
and there is absolutely nothing wrong with this dress that she has on. Nothing. Everything I created is beautiful. It's decent and it's in order. But we be so quick,
Yeah.
you know, to judge people based on what they got on.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
based on how they don't comb the hair, how they do comb the hair, or how they don't wear lipstick, or how they do. I mean, just because all of that, she makeup only on special occasion. I don't leave the house without it. You know what I'm saying? So, so it really taught me to really see past what I see.
Okay. That's a good lesson.
Yeah.
I will say, motherhood for me was different each time, because my son was a preemie, and
Hmm.
so I felt like for a large amount of years that I was in nurse mode most
Hmm.
of the time. So I was his mommy, but I was a mommy. I was a nurse. So we checking off stuff. We got to make sure we hit this developmental milestone. But then when I had that girl, and the pregnancy went much better, because like I think Aiden, I had him at like 29 weeks. We were in Birmingham. It I was able to breathe a little bit, and because I was trying to make sure that he hit everything, I was really strict on him. But and as she got older, she'd be like, "Mommy," and I noticed that he was sending her to ask for stuff, and I was like, "Okay, I gotta chill out." I don't try because he was like, she gonna tell me no, but she'll tell you yeah.
Right, right,
And
right.
so, and now it's kind of flipped a little bit because I be telling her no, and he'll whisper. I can hear them consorting. I'll be like, he's like, I'm gonna go ask mama. Don't worry about it. I got you. So it different levels and seasons really do bring out different parts of you. It's um it's a lot, and it can be heavy. And so with that, how do you find balance between everything that you're involved in, your your community organizations, work, ministry, being a daughter, a sister, and now mom and a grandma. So how are you finding balance with that?
I don't know if I to be
And you know what? That's okay. Because sometimes,
I mean, really, to be perfectly honest with you, because I was struggling with it, I'm now in therapy.
okay,
You know, I guess Monday will be my very last session for this. A lot of
okay,
times my company would pay for it,
mhm,
but yeah, but
that's
I
great.
had to get some help in order to be able to balance it all and
Hmm.
maintain. And I'm also taking some ballroom dance classes.
Oh, nice.
You know, yes, girl, I'm tangoing and waltzing and and some kind of swing, and I do that once a week.
Okay,
You know,
that's nice.
and I have to, but when raising Vaniki, and this is one thing that I tell a lot of people. People don't understand. As a singer, I was part-time single parent from 11 on, so I
Hmm.
myself a single parent. Every summer, if school got out on Wednesday, I sent Vaniki to Dothan, Alabama, to her grandparents on Saturday, and she stayed from May until the Sunday before school started the next week. And folks on my job, and especially my Caucasian coworkers, could not understand how can you send your baby away for the entire summer?
Because you
And,
need to go a break. You got to debrief.
right.
Yeah.
And I would come home when we would meet in Lake City, and I would come home and I would clean my kitchen and would put a closed sign on my stove for 3 months. Because for me, she was a latchkey kid, you know. So I worried about her getting on the bus,
Hmm.
school, getting off the bus, getting home. We before we had all this other stuff, we had the answer machine where okay, I'm gonna call and hang up one time, and then call back the second time, but answer.
Yeah.
That. So I needed that break in order to regroup to start
Hmm.
over for the next school year. And so with life now, I come home every weekend, three
Hmm.
43 minutes.
Oh,
I
that.
drive one way on Friday, 3 hours and 43 minutes back on Sunday. Work 40 hours a week, ministry, the whole 9 yards. And I would get here on Monday and would crash. Literally could not function on Mondays at all. And I said, Kylie, you got to find some kind of balance, and you got to get some help with.
Hmm.
And so I got some therapy.
That's beautiful, and I want to highlight just the fact that, especially for African Americans, men and women, we don't utilize therapy services enough. Um, we because the word say you gotta pray and work. You gotta it's dual and go hand in hand. And while you praying, the work is going to see somebody that can help you deal with your emotions, develop new boundaries. Because when we're working and we're toiling, sometimes your boundaries get blurry, and we take on so much. And especially, as black women, we are expected to be able to handle everything. And black men as well, we just carry things differently. But and for sure, for those who are men and women of the cloth, people think that you don't have any burdens, that that your life doesn't get heavy just because you carry it so well. It doesn't mean that it's not heavy.
I say I have a saying that the collar is heavy, and it gets heavy sometimes, and people really don't understand that, and we are raised as African American, that depression is of the devil,
Devil, yeah. It,
and that we don't go to therapy. All you got to do is pray about it. Jesus is all you need.
but
Well,
you need more than
all I
we need a little therapy too.
he would not have created therapists.
He wouldn't, and that's what I told him. I said he would not have given us all of these resources if he did not want us to utilize them. That's what these people are here for, to be able to help you realize, why you're holding on to this, why you can't let go of it, why every time this person asks you to do something, no matter how much you already have on your plate, you say yes because you feel guilty or trying to erase the trauma you had from somebody who let you down 30 years ago. We need to talk about those things. And it is so important in order that we don't pass down to our children um, generational habits that don't necessarily work. They may have worked for that, but each generation is different and requires different things. And we always preach, we sing it to serve this present age, my calling to fulfill, but we don't do that a lot of times.
No.
We get stuck.
And didn't God send his prophet Elijah and told him to go lay down by the brook and let the raven come and minister to you? So if that wasn't, and let him feed, if that was not therapy, I
That
don't.
was, I don't know what it was.
And when Jesus went up on that mountain and was sweating them bullets, didn't the Lord send an angel to minister?
But they say you just supposed to take it
No.
in silence and be burdened down. But ain't he supposed to be the burden bearer in the heaven? But yeah, we could go round and round, and I could sing you a little tune, and you can go ahead and
My daughter's father committed suicide, and the advocate at the police department called me and says, I'm going to get Vinicky, because she also was a church member, pastor's wife at the time.
Mhm.
I'm going to give Vinicky some therapy, and I'm going to send them. This is when I fell in love with hospice. I'm going to send them to her school, and they're going to call her out of the classroom just like she's coming to the office, and nobody will ever know. But when I told my mama that I was getting my baby some therapy, she had a major issue with that. Because all y'all got to do is pray. No matter.
Yeah.
I can't. When your daughter look at you and say, "Mama, why my daddy didn't love me enough to leave?" I couldn't help her with that.
Oh,
I could not help her with that, and I could not tell my 11-year-old daughter, "Baby, just pray about it." I
yeah, because she not gonna understand. There's no way to comprehend that.
did.
Yeah,
Period. And
there's
and the therapist had her write a letter. I never would have thought to tell her write a letter to your dad and tell him how you feel, and then let's burn it or throw it away, or you can keep it. Do whatever you want to. What?
yeah. Therapy is, and I think it's becoming more mainstream now because people are really starting to learn the value of it. But if, especially we as mothers who are nurturing
Mhm.
and providing for other people, if we are not in a good headspace, then how can you continue to nurture the next generation? You have to do what works for you. And I tell people all the time, with me being divorced, as long as if I'm good, my children are great because they feed off the energy that I give them.
Absolutely.
And so we have to do more as mothers and women, because there are, we have aunties who are out here, helping with the village who are also mother figures. We have to do better about, and one of my favorite sayings is to minister from your saucer and not from your cup. We have to do better about giving from our overflow, because once your cup get empty, then you don't have anything left for yourself. Because when you're on the airplane, and if something go down with that pressure in the cabin, it says to put it on yourself first. So we have to make sure that we are full so that we can actually efficiently and effectively give to other people.
Absolutely.
Um, so in closing, I thank you so much for this conversation tonight. Tell me, how do you keep your cup full?
Love. And I know that sounds cliche-ish, but it's absolutely love. Because as long as I'm doing and giving and serving from a place of love, I hardly ever feel depleted. Because he keeps me feel
Yes,
he keeps
yes,
and believe it or not, that was my meditation at sorority meeting. We had a tea party.
yeah.
And
Y'all was cute.
thank you, girl. And meditation is, are you a teacup or a teapot? And I went
Okay.
cup, you pour stuff in the cup, it never empties it out. And
Mm-hmm.
it stays in there and it gets old, it gets stagnant, and it gets useless. But a teapot, anything that you pour in there, you are able to pour out into somebody else. And I ended it with the song, fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Thirsting of my soul.
Oh, that was good.
Feed me till I want no more.
Want no more.
Fill my cup, Lord,
Yes, that was.
and make me whole.
Yes.
So, period. Period.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on and talking. I definitely enjoyed this. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been What's in Your Cup with my good Soror. Soror Kyla. Catch us next week. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.